Forging cyber security experts. Secure Ninja.
Hey everyone, I'm Alicia Webb with SecureNinjaTV, and I'm here on the show floor at RSA 2014 in San Francisco. I'm speaking with Saul Cates. He is the CSO of Vormetric. How are you today?
I'm doing great, thank you.
Awesome. Thanks so much for talking with us and having us in your amazing booth.
It's pretty nice, isn't it?
It
It's
is.
two-story this year, so very high. Get to see everybody that's out there. We got one rival over there.
Yeah?
Haven't shot him yet, but we're trying.
Yeah, we'll just pretend that you're the only two-story booth as far as we're
Perfect.
concerned. So tell me about Vormetric.
So Vormetric's been around for about 12 years. We started in 2001, so it's now 13 years. We are a data security company, so we've been around a lot of different markets over the years. So we started out in the intelligence community. We then worked our way into the financial services community, and then now we're seeing more and more drive into healthcare and other large enterprises. But at the end of the day, what we do is we help our customers protect their information. So whether that be healthcare information, credit card transactions, what have you, we designed a platform that allowed our customers to actually expand our usage over time. Because at the end of the day, what we found is customers, in our world, are enterprises. They house more and more large sets of data that is very sensitive, whether it be regulated, right, like PCI information or healthcare information, or it could be trade secrets, intellectual property, or in some cases, national secrets. Mm-hmm. And at the end of the day, data has no ability to defend itself. It's at the mercy of where it sits. So what we found is our approach was designed to be as transparent as possible, to apply data security controls around data regardless of its type or its location.
Okay.
And so what that does for our customers is allow them to meet the requirements they have for better data security without changing the way they do business.
Right.
Right. So if we've seen a lot of this over the last couple of years where large enterprises will go to their partners and say, if you have our data, you have my stuff, you're going to protect my stuff, right? When you're a small business or a medium-sized business that's doing business with a large partner, how do you do that without changing the way you run your business, without going broke and so forth? So we've got about 1,400 customers worldwide now, and that's one of our core competencies, is helping them meet those encryption and data security requirements without changing the way they do business.
Right. What are some of the recent emerging threats you've seen with data security?
So insider threat is a big one, right? So I know there's been a lot of focus on the perimeter, looking for initialization vectors coming in, or people using phishing attacks, malware, and so forth to get in through the perimeter. But we all are starting to see that the perimeter is disappearing. It's becoming fuzzy, right? And now you have things like cloud and so forth that are definitely, they're making it fuzzier, right? It's cloudy. But at the end of the day, the newer threats are that insider threat. People want to become you, right? So if I'm a IT professional, I'm a security professional, they want my credentials, or they want my assets, or my ability to see information. There's this fundamental flaw that's built into every operating system. Somebody's got to be God. Okay?
Right.
You've got to have root, you have the sysadmin, which is something. With that comes a lot of responsibility, right? They can see all data, they can change all applications, they can make all sorts of modifications. If that gets compromised or abused, which is 97% of the time, when there's a data breach, a privileged account was abused. So that's the insider threat. It's not somebody going bad, right? A la Snowden or something like that. Mm-hmm. It is somebody's credentials have been abused against them because of the nature of it.
Right.
So that's definitely something that's emerged over the last couple of years, is more and more events are happening where privileged users were abused, or malware was designed to actually leverage that level of privilege, right? So it's definitely something that's changed over the last year or two, more focus on it.
Right,
And
absolutely.
we actually just finished publishing a study last year, and we have another rev coming up here shortly, of an insider threat survey, which has a lot of detail as to how organizations perceive it and are managing it.
Right. What would you say is the percentage of data breaches that come from insiders?
Well, so Mandiant actually did a study. They're a partner of ours, good friends. They did a
Ours
study.
too.
You're still good.
Yeah.
They're good guys.
We just interviewed them.
Oh, good. Yeah. Grady Summers, great guy. So what Mandiant had discovered, last year, and I don't know this year's results, is that majority of the actual events they saw, privileged user accounts were actually utilized. Right, almost 100%. I know 100% of the time, an account credential was abused because they're using very simple techniques. While we call it advanced persistent threat, they're using a very simple technique, which is gain access to the data through privilege, right? Again, that fundamental flaw built into the platform, somebody's got to see everything. What Vormetric's actually designed over the last 13 years is a technique that actually allows you to let them do their job, have that privileged access to the platform, the configuration, and so forth, but not the data. Let the data do its job. It always should be protected, and it's fail-safe. It should always be protected and encrypted. To leave that state, only appropriate applications, users, or processes should ever be able to decrypt the data, not privileged users anymore. So, as we saw last year, the insider threat survey that we ran ourselves, but also the results from companies like Mandiant, have really put a focus on that, that flaw that we all need to start managing towards, because we spend so much time on the perimeter, but we're not guarding the data itself. That's what they're after. Right, we need to put better safeguards around the information.
Right, sounds like a good way to handle it. Now, you've got the best view of RSA this year.
I think we do.
Definitely. What are some of the new trends you're seeing this year versus previous years?
So I think a new one is that they're calling it now the software-defined perimeter, right? Mm-hmm. So there's companies like Vitter and Unisys Stealth have come out, and there's a couple other players out there as well, where they're really looking for more of a transparent way to actually black out network assets, right? So a server, for example, could I put a server up into Amazon and no one can see it but me? Mm-hmm. No one can talk to it but me, right? That becomes very unique, and that's what these guys are creating, is these unique environments, or these almost like black clouds. I don't want to use that term, but black cloud is sort of what it's becoming, where you block out the world to your instances. And we're starting to partner with companies like that, because you can start to create these exploding instances out into the cloud that no one can see, you can't smell it, you can't touch the information. Right, so the data, when you decommission the system, is no longer there, because the keys used to encrypt it are not there anymore as well. So you create these, black environments that no one can actually see. So that's a unique new trend I'm starting to see, is people want to be able to consume infrastructure as a service and other cloud services, but they don't trust it, and they don't trust the rest of the world. Could I find a way to only allow myself, the consumer or the application owner or the enterprise, to utilize that service, that compute and storage, and nobody else? Right. That's powerful to them, because it's cost savings, mm-hmm. right? And that's unique. We haven't seen that before.
Yeah.
Where security is now starting to become almost like an enabler to newer technologies like cloud
right.
and so forth.
Right. Changes every year.
It does.
Thanks so much for taking the time to talk to us about it.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Yeah, definitely. And everyone at home, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel so you don't miss any of the interviews we're producing from RSA this year. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and we now have an Instagram account as well, so make sure you follow us there. I'm Alicia Webb. Thank you so much for watching.
SecureNinjaTV is brought to you by SecureNinja.com, a world leader in cybersecurity training and certification. Our master instructors will help build you into a highly skilled and marketable security professional. Secure Ninja, forging cybersecurity experts.